Well, then I'll be on.
Yes.
Did you update where people were going to see the live?
Yes. It looks like there's already one person there.
What?
Or two. I can't see.
That's I need glasses.
There's two.
See?
Two.
Did you want to, Justin know where to go? Have you
Yes.
guys- Okay.
I put it on to the Teens for Christ group chat and Facebook.
Okay, okay, so,
Yeah, right now.
Well, they look
It's
at
just
me.
a link that
Okay.
goes directly to the live stream.
Can they see Riley?
I'm sure they can.
I bet. This is our mascot,
There's only one.
Riley.
There's only one person now. Do you want me to, do you want us to, as opposed to sit over there?
I don't mind.
There's only one person. Either or.
Can we Riley? You know you want to be over here.
You'll probably have to speak up a little bit, but it sounds like you
Can you hear us?
can. Yeah, live streams are like 5 to 10 seconds delay.
Okay, so they should hear that. Okay. Okay. So I look at the world like around, and I look at even, just school and everything, and it's like it's falling apart. Like, just there's so much negative going on in the world that it's just like, why? Okay, but I strongly believe that God has let all this happen for a reason. If God has let all of this happen, which is a lot, then he probably has a big reason for it. We may or may not understand it now, but we will someday. Overall, I feel like we're all in need of, something. I feel like something, something big, something like almost to fill a void in a way. Well, what we're going to talk about today is what if that something was someone? So, Jesus actually addresses this issue in the Bible. Your Bibles, but I'll just go ahead. Oh, you did? Oh!
Me and Anna are supposed to share.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you have your pocket Bible.
Right there. The one time.
Okay, Riley, are you
Every other time.
Kelly deserves to be over here. I didn't remind you. Look at that.
Oh, I'm going to turn
Sarah's got hers.
Okay, so. Okay, cool. Okay, turn to John 6:35.
I don't know.
Can't do it, sorry.
Is it backwards? It's backwards.
Focus on
Oh.
Good job.
6:35.
John 6:35 is it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I'm just pushing right.
Page 35 or
6:35. So verse 6.
Okay,
I mean, chapters.
Yeah. Is everyone there? Okay. We're going to be reading John 6:35 through 40. I am the bread of life, Jesus told them. No one who comes to me will ever be hungry, and no one who believes in me will ever be thirsty again. But as I told you, you see me, and yet you do not believe. Everyone the Father gives me will come to me, and the one who comes to me I will never cast out. For I have come down from heaven not to do my own will, but the will of him who sent me. This is the will of him who sent me, that I should lose none of those he has given me, but I should raise them up on the last day. For this is the will of my Father, that everyone who sees the Son and believes in him will have eternal life, and I will raise him up on the last day. So, I'm just going to go back. When Jesus says, I am the bread of life, What does that
If we have like such as like fasting, if you have like a hunger, you should go to him. Like if you're feeling the need of something, he's our bread, or he's like our
mean? Yeah.
like source of
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. Anybody else want to add on? Okay. So like, it doesn't mean that like a loaf of bread with the words "bread of life" engraved on a silver platter is just going to show up at our doorstep. It means that once we place our trust in God and seek Him, that void that we felt, it's going to be filled. Once we seek Him, we won't be hungry. He only asks us to go to Him. See, we could try and fill that void with like worldly things or like popularity or like money but I mean, that's nothing compared to, the void that Jesus fills. The second part of John 6:35 is pretty similar. It says, "And no one who believes in me will ever be thirsty again." This corresponds to the first part of verse 35. You know when you're thirsty and you just want to drink, like you've been like, I don't know, like playing a sport all day or outside all day and you're just so freaking thirsty and you just want some water. But, let's say that you can't get water, then you're like, oh no. You know how like bad you want it? Well, sometimes we long this bad for Jesus, we just don't recognize it. But once we begin to seek Jesus, that thirst that we had will be quenched. And by the way, this is not the best quality of water ever. You should try it sometime. Anyway, my point is nothing can replace or beat what Jesus has to offer. And I just feel like with everything that's going on, it's really important to think about because it's like, I know that I've been, even me, I've been feeling, I don't know, it's just something.
Overwhelmed.
Yeah, overwhelmed, stressed out, school is just horrible, but every time I go to God, every time I take a break from school and I just go to God, I'm taking a break, I'm going to spend some time with you, I feel 100 times better. So, yeah. So, I guess we can talk about the rest. John 6:36 through 37. But as I told you, you've seen me, and yet you do not believe. Everyone the Father gives to me will come to me, and the one who comes to me I will never cast out. What does it mean by everyone the Father gives to me will come to me, and the one who comes to me I will not cast out? Sorry. Okay, what does it mean by everyone the Father gives to me will come to me, and the one who comes to me I will not cast out? Yeah. So it means that God has chosen us to be His children. If you've given your trust to God, and if you have a relationship with God, then you've been chosen. It's not by chance that you have a relationship with God. You are chosen. And that's just since Jesus is the only way to the Father, John 6:14. God saved us and brought us to Jesus so we can have a relationship with Him. And the amazing part is Jesus will not turn His back on any of us. How incredible is it that we have a perfect friend, a perfect Father, someone you know will never mess up and will never ditch you, and overall will never change. I feel like being a teenager, you're friends with, people in 5th grade, and then you go through middle school and they just start to change and they're becoming these different people that you didn't know 2 years ago. Well, how incredible is it that we know somebody who was the perfect person, or just our perfect friend, our perfect father, and they're never going to change. You can always rely on them with anything you need. In fact, they want you to go to them with anything you need. And not only do they want you to talk to them about it, they want you to just give them the burden. I mean, especially like this day and time. I feel like that's really awesome. Yeah. So 39 through 40 says, "This is the will of him who sent me, that I should lose none of them he has given me, but should raise them up on the last day. For this is the will of my Father, that everyone who sees the Son and believes in him will have eternal life, and I will raise him up on the last day." That means the will of Jesus is to like, it's his Father's will, and just not. Jesus' will isn't like to have a relationship with us and then just turn his back on us. That's not his will. His will is that we can always go to him, and that we would have a relationship with him so we can enter the gates of heaven and have eternal life. So that's just something to think about. Whenever you're stressed out with school or just stressed out with anything, just go to God. Like, that's the first thing. Like I go to God because I know that, it's going to help me. So, yeah, just think about it. If you have any questions, then I go too fast. Okay. That was it. Sorry. I guess, okay. Another thing is that in John 6:48 through 51 it says, "I'm the bread of life. Your ancestors ate the manna in the wilderness and they died. This bread that comes down from heaven is so that anyone may eat of it and not die. I am the living bread that came down from heaven. If anyone eats of this bread, he will live forever. The bread that I will give for the life of the world is my flesh." Like, that just says a lot. What it means by this bread that comes down from heaven so that anyone may eat of it and not die. What do you think they're talking about? Does anybody do either? I don't know. Okay, the whole thing. Just listen. Okay. This is the bread that comes down from heaven so that anyone may eat of it and not die. What are they talking about? Yeah. Jesus says, "I am the living bread that came down from heaven. If anyone eats of this bread, he will live forever. The bread that I will give for the life of the world is my flesh." Jesus died so that we can have eternal life. He doesn't want us to be miserable and just be stressed out and be nervous, and he doesn't want that for us. He died for us so that we can be happy and joyous in heaven and living with him. He died so that we can have a relationship with him. And then once you start building that relationship and seeking him and turning to him, I mean, the joy of Jesus is like no other joy on earth. And he's saying over that, worldly things are nothing compared to what Jesus has to offer. So I saw that highlighted. Now I'm done. Does anybody have questions?
I have a question. This is like not related. What Bible do you read?
Oh.
Living Bible, James.
Okay, I read the Christian Standard Bible. My church gave it out. Yeah, it's perfect.
Because my personal favorite was the Living Bible. And I was wondering, like,
Ashley reads.
I like the Living Bible because I guess it's easier for me to understand.
Yeah.
This one is really easy to understand.
Yeah.
I like this Bible because
I have a Living Bible that's
That's
like
geared towards your age.
interactive because like there's different sheets where it tell you like facts or like pictures I discovered about it, or there's like pages that you can color on and things like that. I guess it's for like younger ages, but it's not at the same time because I guess they use more when describing the things that they found
Yeah.
about it, they
Yeah.
use more proper words.
Yeah.
They use more descriptive things.
Yeah.
So I guess it's like for all ages almost.
Yeah, there are Bibles out there like that too.
Yeah, or like this one has highlighted statements that are just like in red, like they're really important.
Uh-huh, yep.
See, like on this page.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Oh, is that things that are important or is that Jesus?
Important.
Okay. Some Bibles have it in red when Jesus is talking.
Right.
I like this Bible because it comes with like things like why was Jonah really small with Bible pictures, random questions that are in.
Which helps you understand it more.
Yeah.
Well, are y'all doing the devotional?
It's okay.
It will help, it will help.
Yeah.
If you'll take, maybe just 2 minutes a day, it'll help. Start with 2 minutes a
I mean,
day.
I've been reading math. I'm almost done with it.
Oh, okay. Good. What do you think about it?
I think it, yeah, it would help a lot of people, especially if they're uneasy about it, where they don't know if like it's really true or not.
Right.
It would be good because I do need to read more. I'm starting to read Harry Potter, so I need more books to keep me entertained, especially during quarantine.
No, are you ready? I know you're reading yours. No?
Yes, no, kind of, somewhat.
Kind of.
So you can like jump around from page to page, but I mean I recommend starting from beginning and reading to end just because it has like part 1 and part 2. Yeah. Oh. Hi people. T-shirt designs. Okay, so you two are here, but we're doing like t-shirt designs for a t-shirt or a long sleeve. Would y'all rather have a t-shirt or a long sleeve shirt?
T-shirt.
T-shirt.
Okay, then I guess we'll do t-shirts. It's not like a turtleneck.
I was about to say that, sweaters.
It is good.
Huh?
T-shirt.
Would y'all rather do t-shirts, hoodies, or long sleeves? Okay, I'll get a piece of paper, like get some printed out, and we'll take a vote when everybody's here and stuff. But I was gonna say we might like if one person wanted a t-shirt, we can wear a t-shirt.
Yeah.
We can.
I don't see why not.
Okay. Cool. But we're doing t-shirt designs for Teens for Choir, so if you have any ideas, just shoot me a text. It was due by
Did
this
y'all
week.
do any?
I have an idea of the things that I can't draw in
Thank
any
you.
way, shape, or form. I think the only thing that I could draw was probably a cobra, and that was yesterday. Not
They
this.
should ask Storm. She's good at drawing.
Yeah, she has her own like clothing line. She like draws stuff and puts it on clothes.
Oh, awesome. That is neat.
Yeah. So if you have any designs, I guess can we like delay it to the next time?
I was thinking something like a cross with hands on the cross and
Or like
hands, like your hands, team's hands, holding the cross.
We could have like the thorns on the top of it too.
That's good. Yeah, see, you can just sit here and brainstorm and come up with an idea.
Just have the label, like, name for it, like, the labeling and stuff. And have it on the t-shirt.
Oh yeah, well, okay, so we have to figure out a logo too for like football pictures and stuff. But I guess that might be what's on the t-shirt. Yeah, that was it. Oh yeah, now we should do it.
Okay, let's shoot first.
Oh yeah, does anybody have any questions or stuff? I don't know, that's the thing. Okay, we should do it. Okay, so I looked